Sir, he was appointed as a privy councillor for 2 days. Okay. And he got the Homeopathic. And that appointment has been there. We'll see. Yes, he was appointed as the privy councillor. I see. Sir, it is the inaugural session of this monument. Okay. So 1900. Okay. Monument at Scotch. 1900.
Sir, date is related. Yes. Washington DC after his death. All American doctors American elected.
Sir, this statue is about 6 feet high, but our statue is 7 feet high.
Odisha got 2 feet ahead than Washington.
These are the different postal stamp.
That's very interesting. Very interesting.
For elements memory.
Yes, sir. Sir, this is India. This is India. In the year 1977.
Thanks, Dr. Bhubaneswar Chandra.
Is going from that place. After MBBS, they have to go for 1 year training to get DA. But still persisting there. And the most qualitative college in India. Most qualitative. And this is always, this is always they are always ahead of us. All authors are from
India can start. Homeopathy came to India
through Bengal.
First to Punjab, then to West Bengal. After in West Bengal, that produced like anything.
So all these doctors who wrote the books, they are all allopathic doctors. Someone cured from tuberculosis, turned to homeopathy. Someone cured from psychiatric problem, turned to homeopathy. Boning Hussain, Kent, all the stalwarts are actually allopathic doctors, these and that. And after being cured by homeopathy, they turned to homeopathy. They read homeopathy and turned to homeopathy.
So homeopaths don't perform surgery.
Our students are Our students are
surgery is different branch. After MBBS, somebody said under one roof in Government of India.
Distinguish an allopathic doctor just by the name.
No.
That's a distinguished principle, sir.
No, I know.
He's asking that by name.
Somebody sees a board by name. Says Dr. Mahapatra. He's a homeopath. We don't know whether he's a homeopath or not.
No, in the board should be some people like homeopathy.
Bachelor in homeopathic medicine and surgery. MBBS is master of surgery and medicine. Bachelor of medicine and surgery.
Not only MD, but home.
But the only point
Tell more about it and then refuse.
Then request the Honorable Justice to tell to director to do that.
These are the
Sir, this is the letter. He was a councillor to the court. He was appointed in Homeopathic during the year 1822. This is his appointment letter. Permission to practice at hotel.
For studying, for practicing, frequently places.
27 places we have.
correct.
much intelligence.
The blood donation is started.
Yes, sir. Just made up. Rajendra, he gave an okay.
The same? Subtle more than once.
Right then. Total number 30. So we are allowed to give 30. So let us put the customer of the donors who are willing. Let us put their name in the booking from Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
This World Homeopathic Day to celebrate of Sir Christian Frederick Samuel Hahnemann, the founder and architect of Sir Samuel Hahnemann, on this auspicious occasion. At the outset, I would like to introduce our dignitaries on the dais. To grace the occasion this morning, we are lucky to guest of honor, Shri Dr. Bhubaneswar Chandra, Chief Speaker, Professor Dr. Chaturabhuj Naik, former Director General, CC Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, the Honorable Chief Justice, High Court of Odisha, to kindly lit the ceremonial lamp and garland the portrait of Dr. Hahnemann. I humbly request other dignitaries.
a science student, passed with first class from the Madras University. Then he started his Bachelor of Law in the Madras Law College, where he stood. From the Nagpur University, he did his LLM, where also he stood fast in his batch. Apart from that, as a student, he was the member of delegates of two-member committee to represent India in moot court competition, where he got the first prize. Consequently, he went to Washington for the same manner, that is international moot court competition, where also he succeeded very brilliantly. Apart from that, he has very good publications on law. There are a lot of publications which is of India. So, in various way, he is very amicable, approachable. He was collector of Moda, and to our knowledge, he is going to have a very, by his effort, he is going to upgrade most of the Ayush dispensaries on the health ground from the national level. Then our chief speaker, Professor Dr. Chaturvedi Naik, who is very well known for, as a student of this college, very brilliant. He is a very amicable person to carry out all the research work and development of homeopathy. And nowadays also he is helping PG students in the.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for that warm welcome. Thank you. Well, to go further, it's my proud privilege to call upon a very dynamic personality, Ayush Odisha. Sir, I humbly request you to come up to the podium and share a few words to the honest gathering. Sir, please.
Chief guest, Honorable Chief Justice, thank you, Dr. Isha. Chairman, Alumni Association, Dr. D.R.Abhin Chandra, and Principal Abhin Chandra, Homeopathy Medical College, all the alumni of this institution, all the teaching staff, and all the students, I welcome you to this World Homeopathic Day, which is observed on the birthday of CFS. Really, it is proud of all that we are organized here. For contribution today, we are known for homeopathy. Homeopathy is known to everybody. Everybody has also faith on homeopathy because it is the cheapest method of treatment of any diseases. And also people have faith on homeopathy, but like allopathy, we are unable to make such research for the treatment of so many new diseases at present. So my request to all the teaching staff, all the students, to make more research for the treatment of the people through this homeopathy medicine. It is now the time, not for the competition between allopathy or homeopathy or Ayurvedic, but I think it is the time for integration of homeopathy, Ayurvedic and allopathy, because one body is not single method of treatment for any diseases. There should be integration of all, because though method of treatment is homeopathy, but we should take the help of diagnostic method of allopathy. Because without diagnostic, you cannot treat the patients. So we should adopt all the modern instruments for the diagnostic purpose of allopathy, and which is easier for us, will treat. But if there is requirement of referral services, we can refer the serious patient for Ayurvedic or.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your encouraging words. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, moving ahead, may I now take the opportunity to call upon a very great personality with profound knowledge. The chief speaker for the session, Professor Dr. Chaturbuj Nayak, former Director General, Central Council for Research in Homeopathy. So kindly enlighten us with your wisdom. So please.
D.R.Abhin Chandra, Director of Ayush of Government of Odisha, Dr. V.L. Biswai, Principal Cum Superintendent of D.R.Abhin Chandra Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital, Dr. N.K. Mahapatra, President of Alumni Association, other VIPs in the audience, alumni, media persons, teaching, non-teaching, hospital staff, and my dear students of this college. At the outset, I am privileged to inform the audience that one of the organizers requested me to give welcome address. Then I told him that I do not know anything about our Honorable Chief Justice, but how to get all the data. So then she told, sir, you do not know, you belong to a very old era, so everything is there in the Google and in your mobile. But still then I was afraid to tell about the welcome address. Dr. Mahapatra might not deserve those things. Honorable Sir, at the outset, being an alumnus of this prestigious institution where I am standing from the podium, I feel proud to tell our honorable guests and the audience that ours is the first government homeopathy medical college which was set up here and approved by the government of India. Second thing, there are so many firsts, sir, for this college. Second thing is our college is the first government homeopathy medical college in the country to start college in India, recognized by the Ministry of Ayush Government of India. And you'll be happy to know, let me draw your kind attention that this is the only college in India which has availed all the grants of the Government of India under all schemes. Getting the birth anniversary of Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, father and architect of homeopathy. It's another thing, my predecessor, all my previous people just go very spontaneously without using the word. But I am very cheerful man. In the presence of Chief Justice, I may commit some mistake if I tell morally. So please don't mind, sir, I am reading out. Today we are celebrating birth anniversary of Dr. Samuel Hahnemann, the father and architect. The step taken by Dr. Kedarnath Rai, former Chief Medical Officer of Homeopathy, was also one of the alumni here. He has published on this podium. Lastly, my humble request to the students of this college who are the torch bearers of homeopathy for all times to come, to get inspired by the person of Swami Vivekananda, who told, arise, awake and stop not till your goal is achieved. Who told? Swami Vivekananda. And also the statement, please remember the statement of Winston Churchill, former British Prime Minister, who told, never, never, never give up. Thank you all. Thanks to Jai Jagannath, Jai Hahnemann, Jai Homeopathy.
It's the time to felicitate our Chief Guest, Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, the Honorable Chief Justice, High Court of Odisha. May I humbly request our respected Director, sir, to do the honor. So please. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. May I now request our Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it lifts my soul for being so fortunate to invite the Honorable Chief Justice, High Court of Odisha. So please.
Very warm good morning to everyone. Pranam Vande Janani. I must say I'm overwhelmed by the warm affection, the welcome that I've received here. Very renowned teachers of homeopathy. But I'm very, very happy to be here. I was a bit apprehensive when I got invited to be a chief guest of this kind of a function. But I think two things persuaded me. One was, I think Justice G.V. Patnaik, former Chief Justice of India, persuading the director to somehow persuade me to accept this invitation. I was apprehensive only because I'm completely a stranger to this topic, altogether a stranger, and I know that I'll be sounding like a novice in the midst of such come for this function, and also to learn more about homeopathy. And I think the exhibition, so wonderfully organized by Professor Nayak. Sorry. I'll only begin with what the learned speakers earlier said. I think what is so appealing about homeopathy, which apparently has the third largest following in India after allopathy and Ayurveda, is that first and foremost it's non-invasive. It's a non-invasive form of medicine. And like Professor Nayak pointed out just now, the attention is to the person who's being treated while treating the symptom that the person is displaying. So all our traditional forms of treatment, of healing, focus on the person. Our village doctor, the Vaid, would always catch hold of the nadi. Even in Ayurveda, the Ayurveda practitioner first catches hold of the nadi, because the nadi communicates a lot of things to the practitioner. It tells him the history of what is happening within the body. And it communicates so many things to him. He knows how the kidney is functioning, how the liver is functioning, how the heart is functioning, just by catching hold of the nadi. Part of treatment, not something, MRI scan, not an X-ray, not a blood test report. They were not looking at diagnostic tools. They were testing their own understanding of the body by listening to the body. So I think for young students here of homeopathy, listening to the body is very important. I think that's the first training you should have. You can listen to the body in various ways. One, listen to the person who's telling you what is happening to his or her body. Listening to the life of that person, which is what Dr. Nayak, Professor Nayak told us, that you start inquiring into what's the background of, as homeopathic practitioners. Somebody who in the family has believed in homeopathy, who's worked for, who's himself or herself a homeopathic practitioner, or who has found positive results through homeopathy. This is the kind of a thing that goes in the background of the person. Also, all forms of medicines don't work in all environments. This I have learned through my own life experience. What works maybe in Madras may not work in Delhi. What works in Delhi may not work in Cuttack. What works in Cuttack may not work in Mumbai. So it's also the environment that shapes us. The climatic conditions. So when you look at a person's, you begin treating the person. So the same medicine may not work with person A as well as it works with person B. You may need to combine it with something else. So all your training is to focus on how to treat the person as much as you are treating the symptom. And you have huge challenges. I think the younger generation faces challenges. Professor Nayak gave us a hint of what that challenge is when he was asked to go on the net. But this tiny infant, 2-year-old infant can easily press with a little finger, immediately search out things which you should watch. How is the child able to access cartoons on the mobile phone? It's stunning us, it's amazing us. But this is a source of great stress. I don't know how many of the students here know what is meant by nomophobia. Do you know what is nomophobia? Okay, this is today's homework. You go on the net and find out what is nomophobia. Okay, nomophobia is not no more phobia. In fact, it's exactly the opposite. You're never for a minute without this. People carry it into their bathroom. First thing in the morning, mobile phone. Last thing in the night, mobile phone. So it's become part of our functioning. Now, does homeopathy have an answer to mobile phones? Professor Nayak will say, first lock up. The last thing you can find all our children, grandchildren, the laptop is here or the mobile phone is here, they're lying on the bed, but the thing is here, right here. And they're listening electronically, speaking electronically. So it has changed the way the body functions, how the body responds to it. What kind of stimuli come through this, right? I think homeopathy needs to study this very carefully to see what kind of psychosomatic disorders are relatable to use of the internet, to use of the mobile phone, to use of the laptops. All our transactions are now on mobile phone. Today, if they want to sing Vande Tale Janini and they want to, are they here? Yeah. They want to Shruti. They don't bring the Tanpura. They bring the mobile phone. If you want the background music for that, no need to have a whole orchestra, mobile phone. So we've tried to transact everything. Our whole life is now getting transacted through this. And this was never the fact. 20 years in our own living lifetime, sir. In the last 20 years, if you ask me, even in the late 90s, 95, 96 is when this started coming in. That used to be a huge wireless set which only a few people had. We didn't know that it would bring such a dramatic change. But it has brought about a dramatic change. And so we need to address this change which is causing so much disruption in our lives. And we need to see how we harmonize ourselves with nature despite something like a mobile phone. Homeopathy kind of medicinal forms teach us to stay with nature. And that is what is appealing about homeopathy. And the other wonderful thing is, it is not intimidating. You know, you see a multicolored capsule, eggs, everything. You can try it on cuts, spoons, everything. So he swears by thermophores. So he carries. Always he says I carry an extra thermophores. Somebody tells me, oh, I have had this egg, this rash, that allergy. I give him thermophores. So this tries to combine, I think homeopathy, allopathy, Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani, they combine what we find in. Of course, we go to eat only pizzas and burgers, because that's a very different menu. But if you go by the traditional food forms, many of these curative elements are part of the food. Of course, I think sure many in the audiences had Mahaprabhu Jagannath's Mahaprasad. Look at the Mahaprasad, one prominent element of the Mahaprasad is camphor. I don't know how many of you have noticed it. Yes. So camphor is so curative, right? Camphor treats respiratory problems. Camphor is anti-flatulent. Camphor has so many medicinal qualities to it. We use very small doses of camphor in allergy. You will find that on his chin. Have you noticed that? I don't know how many of you noticed this in the audience. Some of you can tell me, what do you find on the chin? Say yes, tell me, what do you find on the chin of Lord Balaji? What is that? What is that you find on the chin? Look at any picture of Lord Balaji, you will find something white here. Do you know what that is? That's camphor. Do you know the legend behind that? No. So Ramanujacharya, the great Vaishnavite saint, who went about reviving Vaishnavism, so he revived the worship, forms of worship in Tirupati, Tirumala Tirupati. And Ramanujacharya wanted a trusted lieutenant to take care of the daily worship, all the rituals to be performed. So he had an Anantarva. I use the Tamil word, I'm from Tamil Nadu, so I know this. So Anantarva says, me and my wife will perform all the rituals, not to worry. And we'll do it sincerely. So Anantarva is preparing the garland for the Lord. Acharam is that austerity, that nobody else should touch, only we can do it. So he pushes aside the child, and the child gets hit by the crowbar, and the child starts bleeding. So he doesn't pay attention to it. When he goes to the temple, he finds from the deity, from the chin, there's blood flowing. So he's stunned that blood is flowing from the deity, and what he can find for the Deeparadhana, stuck it there to stem the blood, because camphor has that property. It can clot blood easily. So that has become the permanent part of the deity in Tirupati. So everything has a significance in terms of quality, medicinal quality, black pepper. So they don't use the modern day ingredients, they do use the old day ingredients. And people would always go to the temple for prasad. That day's meal is taken care of if you go to the
Thank you very much, sir. To wind up the session, I sincerely request our honorable guest, Professor Dr. Vijayalakshmi Bisoi, the Principal cum Superintendent, Dr. Abhin Chandra, Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital, Bhubaneswar, to propose the vote of thanks. Madam, please.
His Excellency, Reverend Dr. Justice S. Pradipal, respected Chairman, sir, Dr. Chief guest of this occasion, respected Dr. Chandra, Director of Odisha Central Council for Research in Homeopathy, Chief Speaker of this session, respected senior alumni, dear colleagues, staff, student, media, students and other dignitaries. Guidance and overall supervision for the entire event, without which we would not have been successful. I would like to thank Professor Dr. Jadubas Naik, former principal of this, first bench student of this institution and former teacher of this college, for his presence in this event, his guidance for his program and overall his belongingness to this institution. I would like to thank all former teachers of this institution, present teachers, all alumni, all committee members for their sincere effort and cooperation towards the success of this event. I would like to thank all media friends, students for their wholehearted support in order to furnish this organization. Vande Utkalchand.
Thank you, ma'am. Successful with your glorious presence. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Have a great day, ladies and gentlemen.
Only half minute. Sorry, I could not tell during my address. When somebody requested me to give the welcome address, to give the him, he told me yesterday only that one line to tell about him, that he has no. Sir, please don't mind. I am taking excuse from you for this comment. He used to having occupied the post of highest post in the High Court. He has no false vanity, no ego, only filled with this. I requested her to give an example how he doesn't have ego, Then she told, Chief Justice himself used to go by cycling. So I thought I will not tell this. You think that Dr. Nayak has made me poor. So thank you very much.
Very much. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. No, sir. I request all others not to leave this auditorium, please. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Please share the photos. Please share the photos.
I know, but most of them are women.
Sir, I am telling only lies and lies.
No, but even in law, that's what's happening. So in a few years, about 5-10 years, there will be more women judges than men. Yes, we have far less distraction than the boys.
They are more concentration about study.
Correct. Far less distraction.
He introduced camphor as the best preventive model. And it was
नमस्कार कैसे
छोटा मौसम सा जहाँ
ଗୌରୀରୁ ଚିଠି ଆସିଛି ଚିଠି ବାସୁଛି ତୁଳସୀ ତୁଳସୀ ଚିଠି ବାସୁଛି ତୁଳସୀ ତୁଳସୀ ଭାଇ ଭଉଣୀ କାଳେ ପାରିବେ ଜାଣି କଳା ସିମୁଖେ ପାଠ ଖୁଣ୍ଡୁଆ ଟାଣି ଭାଇ ଭଉଣୀ କାଳେ ପାରିବେ ଜାଣି କଳା ସିମୁଖେ ପାଠ ଖୁଣ୍ଡୁଆ ଟାଣି କାଳିଆ ପଡ଼େ ଲୁଚି ଲୁଚି ଚିଠି ବାସୁଛି ତୁଳସୀ ତୁଳସୀ ଚିଠି ବାସୁଛି ତୁଳସୀ ତୁଳସୀ রাধিকা লিখিছি চিঠি কজলে কজলে কেতে যে চাহিছি আখি সজলে সজলে রাধিকা লিখিছি চিঠি কজলে কজলে কেতে যে চাহিছি আখি সজলে সজলে রাধা তোমার স্বরূপ
कॉलेजर छोट बड़ भाई भौणी मैंने बर्तमान आम द्वितीय सेशन में आम कॉलेजर समस्या विविध समस्या पर आलोकपात करी नूतन भाव में पड़ी रही पुनर्जीवित करवा तेणु नवेदन करुच्ची कौन मैंने ये आलमुनि एसोसिएशन में भाग ने आलमुनि एसोसिएशन में कार्य करेंगे आगामी दिन समाधान करियारे जो मैंने साहाय्य करेंगे से स्वतंत्र भाव में नाम घोषणा करूँ स्वतंत्र भाव में जो मैंने आलमुनि आसन प्रदान करने सहयोग करेंगे से नाम दिंतु।